Thanksgiving is just over a week away. AAA is predicting almost 55 million people will travel for the holiday, making it the third busiest Thanksgiving travel season in the past 20 years. But with inflation and the rising cost of airfare, some people are staying home. Chris Van Cleve explains.
You want some cucumbers?
Normally, Sharon Herreri would be getting ready for the annual Thanksgiving family fly-in. Nearly 24 relatives meeting somewhere in the country to celebrate the holiday together.
Flights are too expensive.
But this year, surging airfare prompted Herreri to postpone her trip.
It's sad that I'm not going to be, with my sisters and my brother and my mom, and they'll all be together. I am going to miss everybody.
Still, AAA expects nearly 55 million people will travel this Thanksgiving. That's up 1.5% from last year and nearly back to pre-pandemic levels. The vast majority will drive. But air travel is forecasted to jump nearly 8%. And with cruise lines back in business, AAA predicts cruise, bus, and train travel will jump 23% over last year.
The desire for people to get back together with loved ones, they're going to do it no matter what the cost. They're going to budget in other areas of their life, but travel doesn't appear to be one of them.
Gas prices are about 36 cents a gallon higher than a year ago. That's up about 10%. According to NerdWallet, car rentals are a bit cheaper than last year, but have climbed 47% since October 2019. And hotels are up 6% from last October. Airfare last month rose 3.5% over September and was up 43% compared to last October. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Reagan National Airport, Virginia.
Several airports around the country have warned that they may run out of open parking spaces, so they're encouraging people to book their parking spots ahead of time. The busiest day to drive expected to be Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Ahead of the busy holiday travel season, the Department of Transportation says it has fined 6 airlines more than $7 million for extreme delays in refunding travelers. The department also announced that airlines have issued $600 million in refunds to customers for canceled or significantly changed flights since the start of the pandemic. The DOT launched a customer dashboard recently to help travelers determine what they are owed if their flight is impacted. The risk of getting RSV is growing into the older population. Details are next on Valley News Live at 5.